Hi there, everyone. Today we are going to be making this image right here. We are going to be doing this inside of Blender. I was going to do something inside of GIMP for this, but I decided to do it in Blender. It is way super easier inside of Blender, and it's just better to do it inside of Blender. But the image that we are going to be doing is this one right here. And what we're trying to go for is kind of, if you guys seen advertisements on like websites and stuff like that, you'll see a phone right here and it'll have a long shadow off of it. I just added this picture in the background like this to kind of stylize it for now. You guys don't have to do that, so we'll do all the compositing and stuff for this image right here. And then if you guys don't want to watch and see how I did the background image like that in Blender, you guys can go ahead and stop after that. But this is a pretty cool image. Here's just a few different shots, some different colors and stuff like that of the image. It's super easy to do, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this and get out of here. And here's the scene, how the scene looks like inside of Blender. And like I said, it's pretty simple. It's just basic shapes. We got a spotlight and a point light, and then our camera and a backdrop, and then our picture frame. And like I said, you could do this with a phone or whatever you'd like. I'm not going to do a phone this time. I'm just going to make this as simple as possible. And you guys could take the concepts that you learned from here and apply it however you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new scene. If I could find it. There it is. And I am using Blender 2.73, the release candidate. You could go to blender.org and get that if you'd like. It's got some bug fixes, a lot of bug fixes actually in this version. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit in over here, and I'm going to turn on my screencast keys for you guys. And just a second. And then let's go ahead and pull that out just a little bit. And that looks okay to me. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to be over here in this sidebar. I'm going to hold down Control and then push in with my mouse wheel, and I'm going to scroll up so you guys can see that. And I am going to go down here to background images, and I'm going to tick on that. And then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to add an image. And I'm going to open this up, and we'll go to where I have that image. And it is right here. So I'm just going to open this. And now you see that you have all views, and you could tick on whichever one you'd like. I'm going to leave it on all views for right now. And I'm just going to press Q. And I didn't want to do that. So we're going to go, I moved to a different layer, sorry. We're going to press Q, and we are going to go into front view, and then I'm going to press Q, and let's see, where's it at? We're going to go into orthographic view. So you can also press 1 and then 5 on your number keypad to get into this. And what we're going to do, we're just going to use this background image to make the shape of the image. So I'm going to press Tab and then go into edit mode. Then I'm going to press S for scale. And then I'm going to scale along the x-axis. And I'm just going to scale this up to the image size here. And that looks good. So I'm going to press S again and then Z to scale along the Z axis. And then let's just make it the shape of that image. I'm going to press Z and then wireframe to just make sure that we got this the right size here. And That looks good to me. So I'm going to press my middle mouse button and we're going to leave it that length. I'm going to just go ahead and click on each one of these vertices. You can also do face select. And I'm going to press Q and go back into front mode, just like that. And I'm going to press I, and that's going to inset. And I'm going to inset this to around that frame, just like that. And I'm going to click to get off that selection. And with the middle selected there, I'm going to press Q and then go to right. And I'm going to press E for extrude. And I'm going to pull this back and I'm going to extrude it in about that far. So I'm going to press Z and then go back into solid so you guys can see that. Press A and deselect everything. And now you guys can see that. And then I'm going to go ahead and press tab and then go into object mode. And then I'm going to press Q and then go back into front mode. And then I'm going to press Control Alt 0. And we are just going to line the camera up. And then if you guys go back into your where the picture's at, and you just hover over it, it's 1514 by 2078. So we're going to go 1514, 1514, and then 2078. Just like that. So we have the camera, the size of the image. Let me zoom out here. And now we are just going to go over here and we are going to come into Cycles Render. And I'm going to go to GPU rendering. And I'm going to tick right over here. I'm going to hold down Control and zoom this up a little bit so you guys can see. And then I'm going to click on border rendering right here. And we're going to do PNG. I'm going to do 16-bit with the 90% compression. And then I'm going to come down here to performance. And I'm going to make my tiles 256 by 256. Just like that. And then we are going to go to sampling. And I'm going to do my preview we're going to try 100 samples for now. And we are going to go ahead and open this output. And we're going to go into our desktop. And we're going to go, I'm going to save it in tutorials. And call this, and click in there. And we could name this, pick. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and click on accept. And so that's all set up. And now I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to scroll this back in a little bit. And I'm going to press in just like that. And kind of get out of here. And we'll go back, press Q, and then go back into camera mode. And we're actually going to press in again real quick and come up here. And we're going to lock the camera to the view. And just try to size, get that camera into view here, just like that. And I'm going to press Shift F for the fly option, and I'm going to press S to back up just a tad bit. And that looks good to me. So we're just going to go full on for right now. And then I'm going to untick lock camera to view, and I'm going to come out of there. And I'm going to press Shift A, go to Mesh, add plane. And then I'm going to press R for rotate. And then X to constrain it on the X-axis. And then I'm going to press 90 for 90 degrees. Then I'm going to press S, and I'm going to scale this up. And then I'm going to pull it back a tad bit. And now we're going to grab this light, and I'm going to press Q and then go to top. And then I'm going to press G to grab the light, and I'm going to set it out here a little bit. And then we're going to come over here to the light settings. And we'll leave that on point. We're going to click on Use Nodes, and we're going to turn this up to 2000, just like that. And then I'm going to make sure we're still in top mode. I'm going to press Shift D, and I'm going to drag that light out here, about right here. And then I'm going to change it to a spot. And let me zoom out here a little bit. I'm going to press R to rotate, and I'm going to rotate this around so it's pointing at the image. And then I'm going to press Q, then go to right, and then I'm going to press R, and I'm going to rotate this up. And then I'm going to press Q and go into front, and I'm going to rotate this just like that, and then Q and go back up to the top, then rotate it back towards the image there, just like that. And we are going to set this at a strength of, let's go 4500 for now. And we are going to, one of these we're going to turn these shadows off of. We'll worry about that when that comes time. Now let's click back on our picture frame. Matter of fact, let's move that back out here, and I'm going to pull down here, and I'm going to press right here. I'm going to go to 3D view, and I'm going to press 0 on my number keypad to go into the camera view, and we're just going to leave it at that for now. Then I'm going to press Q and then go into camera here, and then now I'm going to just lock camera to view, and I'm going to zoom out just a tad bit here, and then I'm going to grab this backdrop, and I'm going to press S for scale along the Z axis, and then I'm going to press S for scale, and then X to constrain it on the X axis, and I'm going to drag that out just a little bit. And then we are just going to hold our middle mouse button in. Actually, no, we're just going to leave it right there for now. And let's go ahead and zoom up just a little bit here so we can see. I'm going to press Z and then go into rendered and see how that looks. And as you can tell that we're getting some nice shadows. We're going to go up here to in our scene right here. Let's go and click on visible layers. And we are on the lamp, the point. So let's turn off cast shadow. And let's go ahead and turn this down to about 1500. And let's press Z and then go back into solid. And then let's unlock our camera to view, and let's come out of that. And let's grab this camera here. Let's press G, and then let's move this back out just a tad bit to maybe right there. And then let's click back here on our picture frame, and I'm going to press in and close this for now. And I'm going to shorten this just a little bit. And let's go ahead and let's open us up a new window over here. And let's go ahead and open another one right here. Let's click down here, and then let's go into the UV image editor. And then let's make this one the node editor. Up top, I'm going to press N to get rid of the sidebar. And let's come over here, and it's already got a material. Let's remove that material, and let's press new, and let's double click on that, and let's call this frame, just like that. And so we have our node up here for the frame, and let's go ahead and tab into edit mode on this window, and let's press A, and then to select all. And then we are going to UV unwrap this. So let's go U, and then we're going to do a smart UV project. And this is all fine. Just the island margin, I'm going to set to 0.03, and then I'm going to press OK. just like that. And now you'll see that it is unwrapped over here in this window. And right here, we already got the girl picture in the Blender because we use it as a backdrop. We're just going to tick on it. So these UVs are set for the material. And over here, we're going to press Z, and then we're going to go into material. And now we are going to come up here in our node editor, and we're going to press Shift A. We're going to go Input, Texture Coordinate, and then we're going to press Shift A, and then Texture, and then Image Texture, and then I'll zoom in here, and we can just tick right here, and we'll see the girl, and that's fine. We are going to take the color and put it into the diffuse color, just like that, and we are going to do Texture Coordinate, and we're going to do UV, plug it into the vector right there, and that's all we are going to do for this texture. Now you'll see that we're in material mode, and now you can see that we see the material over here. And now this is going to be the UV image editor, and I'm going to press Shift and Spacebar to full screen this. And you just got to tick. If I zoom in here and then use my middle mouse button to pan, if I tick right here, you'll see that it'll light up. Now I'm just going to press L to highlight that whole UV right there, and I'm going to press G, and I'm going to drag it out of the way over here, and I'm going to do this for this one also. I'm going to press L and then G, and then grab it and pull it out of the way over here, and I'm going to do it for this one, L and then G, and drag it out of the way down here, and then we will just press A to deselect, and then press B and select all these. Press G for grab, move them out of the way. A to deselect, and then B, grab them. G to drag them out of the way. And now we are going to go back to the main view. And we are going to find out which one of these, press L to highlight it, is the front face. So it is this one. So we'll leave that one for now because I want to do the front of the face last. We're going to go ahead and press Tab and then go back into object mode, and then we're going to click on this backdrop here, and we're going to press H to hide it, and we are going to look in the back of this image now, and we're going to click back on it, press Tab, and then go back into edit mode. Let's click on these UVs and press L to highlight them, and let's press G and find out if these are the back ones. Nope, so it's going to be this one, so we're going to press L and then G, and so this one will be the back. So we're going to just put this right here in the middle here, and we're just going to press S and then Y to scale up along the Y. Then I'm going to press G and drag it back down just a tad bit. Zoom in here just a little. And I'll go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And we are going to go ahead and press S and then Y, and to constrain it on the Y axis, and then we are going to hold down Shift to be able to drag out slow, and then G and then Y to grab it and then constrain it on the Y axis. And I'm just going to line this up here. I'm going to come in here, zoom way in here. I'm going to just tick down on these bottom two, hold Shift, and then I'm going to press G and then Y, and then hold down Shift and pull that down so it lines up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold down Shift and highlight the whole thing. Now I'm going to press S and then X to constrain it on the X-axis, and then we're just going to try to drag it out and make it fit this image here, and that looks fine to me. So we are going to go over here to the front. We're going to grab this one now, and we're going to press L and then G, and then we are going to do the same thing. And so I'm going to do the same thing as before, so I'm probably going to speed this up just a little bit until I get done with this, and then I'll show you with the other one. All right, now we're going to do the same thing for this one. So I'm just going to press G and place it here in the middle. And this part right here is a little bit time consuming. You can go in here and you can make mark the seams and stuff like that. But I didn't really want to do this, and I wanted to try to make this, I don't know if I'm making it less complicated, but for me, it's easier to explain this way, and all you're doing is basically scaling these to fit. So I'm just going to grab on the Y and scale on the Y. Now this one you kind of want to get it to where it looks okay. Grab G for Y, and I'm just holding down Shift. And just going to line this up here. And I'm going to press L to highlight those. L. There we go. And then I'm going to scale on the x-axis. SX. And then G on the X. Let's see how that's looking. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and scale this whole thing down just a tad bit. Because I don't want none of that white border in the image there. So now you'll see that at least the front here is mapped out right and the back. And now these ones over here are the sides. And let's go ahead and get started with them. So I'm going to press just on one right there, press L. Then I'm going to grab it and move it over here. And this one is for the bottom. So I'm going to press R for rotate, and then I'm going to hold down Control. And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees in the up direction. And I'm going to press G and then Y. And I'm going to move it down. Then G and then X. That should be all right there. So let's go ahead. G, Y. Let's move it down. Let's line it up. That edge, and I'm going to press R and then hold down Control, and I'm going to rotate it down the other direction because I want the white border to be right here. And which on the bottom, it doesn't really matter. So let's go X and then, or I'm sorry, S and then X. Then let's scale this out. Then G and then X to move it over. And that should be okay for that one. And then let's grab this one. Let's press L and then G. And then let's move this over here. Let's press R, then hold down Control. And let's rotate it 90 degrees and hold down G. And R, rotate, hold down Control. Let's move it back the other way. I apologize. I moved it the wrong way. Go G, then Y. And then let's just move it up into place. And then S, X, then let's just scale it out. GX to move it into place here. And that looks good for that one. And so I'm going to do these little ones right here and press L, then G, and then move these over here. And let's find out which one that one is. So that's the bottom one. So we're going to go ahead and press R, then hold down Control, and then move it into place here. And let's see where that white line. So R and Control, and let's rotate this the opposite way. So we have that white line down there. And let's press S, X, and let's scale it up. And G, X. Just like that. And then let's do this one, L and G. And this one will be for the top. Let's R, then hold down Control. Let's rotate, press G, and let's bring it up here. Let's see where that white line is. So let's R, Control, let's rotate it the other way. And there we go. That looks good to me. So let's zoom in here. Let's press G and then Y. And let's just get it right there on that white line. And then let's just press S and then X like we've been doing. Then G, then X. And there we go. And now I'm probably going to fast forward the video for these last four here. It's the same basic concept of just moving them around and lining them up. And then it would be good to go. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys, I am back, and we got them all mapped out. And as you can see, we mapped them all along the edges. And this one, like I said, it had a white border, so I just wanted to make sure that this white border lined up on the outside and on the inside here. And then we got the image here. I'm going to press Alt-H to unhide that background now. Oh, oops, tab. Let's go on tab, and then let's go to object mode, and Alt-H, and let's unhide that again. And then let's press Z over here in this window down here, and let's see how it looks. So that is looking pretty good to me. As you can see, we got some super long shadows here, and this light over here, I'm not feeling too much. It's a little bit too bright. So let's go ahead and turn it down just a little bit. Let's go to, let's say, 1,000. And then let's go ahead and click back on our spot lamp. And let's go ahead and let's come down here to where it says size. And let's raise the size up. I'm going to press Z real quick and go back to solid down here. And let's raise the size up on this. Let's go to about 120 degrees. And then let's press Z again and let's see how that looks. I'm going to zoom out here. There we go. Now we're getting the look that I am going for, or was going for this image. Let's go ahead and press Z and then go back to solid, and then let's click on this background and let's give it a new material, and we'll just call this BG for background. And then let's move this back down here, and then let's come over here with our color, and then let's click on this color picker tool, and then let's come right in here and let's try to get this beige color, a beige color going on. And then let's press Z over here and let's see how that looks. And I am liking that beige there. And see, the reason why I put this light over here on this end over to this corner is because she is looking away over that way, and plus it adds lights and I want the shadows to go that way. But you remember this one's not casting shadows anymore because we turned them off. We could go ahead and come to the spot and let's turn these cast shadows off and then go back to the point lamp and we can see the difference on those. And if you can tell, the point light is giving softer shadows. Let me press 0 again. You can see that this point light is giving softer shadows than this spot lamp right here. And we don't want to add 2 of them because you're getting double shadows here, and double shadows don't look good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the point back off. And you'll see that the spot lamp, it leaves darker shadows and they're a little bit more harsh. And you can change the size of these up here, which we're going to do here in just a second. Well, no, let's go ahead and do it now. And I'm going to go ahead and change these to 4.5. And I'm going to press Z over here and go back into solid. And then I'm going to move this window up over here. Then I'm going to click off of that. And then I'm going to come over here to my render panel. And then we're going to come down here. And then on the samples, I'm going to do, I don't know, let's do 200 samples per square, and I'm going to press F12 and I'm going to render this out just so you guys can get an example of what it looks like real quick. So I'm going to render it and be right back. Alright, I am back, and this point light over here, I'm just not feeling the placement of it, so I'm going to move it kind of towards the top corner of that, and I'm going to pull it back just some and maybe up just a tad bit, just like that. And maybe move it a little bit more. I'm not feeling that light. It's a bit too strong, but as you can tell, this is a full render. Let me press shift and then spacebar of and this is only 200 samples, so you could see that this image right here with looks okay, and the image itself was a pretty high quality image, but it got re-rendered through here. So if you want better samples than that, then you need to raise your samples up higher. But you'll see that the spot lamp leaves really harsh shadows. Even if we turn the size of the shadows up, they're still harsh. So I'm going to press N, and there's a new thing here in Blender 2.73, and it's under the display, and it's a slot. And you got these different slots here. There's 8 of them. And what these are is, so we rendered this image, and then I'm going to go and turn on the point shadows here in a minute, and we're going to render that in slot 2. And then we could switch back and forth and see what they look like. So I'm going to name this slot. You didn't used to be able to do that, but that's new in 2.73. And I'm going to name this spot shadows, just like that. And now if we come back down here, you'll see that it's named. And then we're going to go back and we're going to press Z right here first. And I'm going to see if that placement of that light is okay now. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better to me. So I'm going to come over here to this spot lamp, and I'm going to click up here to the spot, and I'm going to turn off cast shadows. I'm going to come over here, turn on cast shadows. And we're going to raise the size of these shadows down to, back down to 0.1. And I'm going to press exit on this because I accidentally hit F12. And so we're going to bring the placement of this lamp just a tad bit up and a tad bit over because I want those shadows to be shining down that way. And we're going to move this to the render slot 2. And I'm going to press F12 and I'll be back after it renders. Alrighty, I am back, and you'll see that it took 30 seconds to render that out. And you'll see the shadows. And we're going to name this to point shadows. And I am going to go back to the spot shadows, and I'm going to turn the cast shadows off on the point light here, and I'm going to click back on the spot and turn back cast shadows back on. And let's go ahead and we'll leave it at 0.1, and then I'll render this out real quick and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, I am back, and you'll see the shadows on 0.1, how they are. And you'll see that they're a little bit harsher than what they were before. That's because I didn't turn the shadow range, or the size, I'm sorry, back up. So there's the point, and here is the spot. And I like these spot shadows, but I'm going to turn these back up, and I'm going to go 5 on these. And that is fine with me. And so we're going to leave the spot, and I'm not going to do the point shadows. So let's go through here, and let's go back to our render settings, and let's go up here, and let's make sure that this is set to 100%. And let's go down, and let's move the render samples. Let's change them. Let's see, I don't know. I'm going to do 800 for right now. You guys could go up as high as you guys want. Like I said, this renders pretty quickly. There's not very much there, just some lights and a back plane. And I am liking that look there. There's enough light. I'm liking that shadow it's casting. And the reason why we're setting the scene up to this way is because this look that I was talking about, and after I come back from rendering this photo out for the final render, I will have a web page pulled up showing you guys what I'm talking about. And then you guys got the scene set up already, and then all you need to do is just move your camera around, and you could have different shots, but I'm not going to move it now. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm pressing F12, by the way, to render instead of coming up here and pressing render. You can press F12. So I'm going to render this out, and I will be back. Alright guys, I am back, and as you can tell, it took 7 minutes and 34 seconds to render this. It probably would have been faster, but I have a bunch of things open on my computer right now, so it probably would only took maybe 5 minutes or so, but it looks pretty good, and then soft shadows are awesome. And yeah, so that's pretty much basically how you do this effect. Next, we're going to go into compositing, but if this looks pretty fine as it is, but if you have a different image and stuff like that, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of compositing to do to this to make it even a little bit better. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here to image, and we're going to save as an image, and we're going to go back and find and name this let it save out. Alrighty, it's saved, and it took a little bit because I saved it at 16-bit with a 90% compression rate on PNG, so I just wanted better quality. And on 800 samples, you can see that's a alright render. But the higher you go, the better this will look. So, but for what we're doing here, or what I'm doing, 800 was enough. So I'm going to click up here, and I'm going to go to compositing, to the compositor, and we are going to click on use nodes, and it'll bring up render layers and composite. And then I'm going to click on backdrop. And I have a node, I have a add-on turned on. Let's go to add-ons. And it is called, if you just go in here and you type in node, you'll see it's called Node Wrangler, aka Node Efficiency Tools. I got that ticked. And what that does is you have more properties over here, and there's more shortcuts. I'm going to hold down Control and press Shift, and then just click on this, and that'll bring us up a viewer. And I'm going to press Shift and then Space to go full screen with this. And you use V to zoom out and Alt V to zoom in. And we'll leave it about right there. And I'm going to just drag this stuff over here. And I'm just going to show you guys what to do to this image first to make it look a little bit better. So we're going to go Shift A, and Shift A brings up your options just like it does in the default view, in the 3D view. And we are going to go to color, and then we're going to go to brightness contrast, and we're going to click it right there. And also we're going to come over here, and where it says performance, I'm going to set this on low and then low for both of these. That way it renders just a little bit faster, and just make sure when you get done, you turn that back up to high. So we're going to go to brightness and contrast, and I'm going to turn the brightness up a little bit. Let's go 0.3, and then I'm going to turn the contrast up to 0.1, just like that. And then I'm going to press Shift A, and in color, I'm going to add a hue saturation node. And I'm going to turn the saturation up to 1.2. And you can mess with the value and make it darker or lighter. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift A, and then we're going to go to filter, and then click on filter. And we are going to put this on sharpen. And if you move this sharpen up, let's say I go to 2, press enter, and I press Alt V to zoom in here. Then you hold down Alt and your middle mouse button, and you'll see that if I put this into the, I'm sorry, nothing was changing. I didn't have it connected to the viewer node. I connected the wrong one. I apologize. So let's go ahead and make sure we put this into our viewer node so we see what's going on. Now you'll see that it is super sharp, and we don't want it that sharp. I'm just going to do about a 0.3, and I just want to bring it out a little bit. I'm going to press V and then hold down Alt and move it back up here. So let's go back here and put the saturation back to 1 so you guys can see that. And you'll see it just looked a little bit dull to me, so I just wanted to bring the colors out just a little bit. So I wanted to saturate it just a little bit. So that's why I did 1.2. And now you'll see it brings out some color and stuff in her skin. And then if I put this back to 0 and 0, you'll see that I just wanted to brighten the image a little bit. So go to 0.3. It brightens it a little bit, and I'm going to bring the contrast up to 0.1. And just brings it out the dark just a little bit more. And then we are going to go ahead and we're going to add a vignette on this. So we're going to press Shift A, and we are going to go down to distort. We're going to add a lens distortion node, and we're going to press Shift A, and we're going to go to converter, math, and then we're going to put this to less than. Just like that. And on this distort, we're going to put it to 1. And on the less than, we're going to connect this to the bottom port of the less than, so bottom. And it's not going to do nothing right now because I don't have it connected to the viewer node. I'm just going to do this like this, so that way I don't try rendering the whole image and we work faster. And we'll just press 0 on here, and we might as well go ahead and connect this up now. So we're going to connect this to the image, and then we'll connect this to the viewer node. And you'll see, wow, what happened? And so don't worry, we're not done quite yet. Now we're going to add a Shift A. We're going to go to Filter, and then we're going to add a blur node. And we're going to put this on Fast Gaussian, and then we're going to tick Relative. And we're going to blur this by 20%, 20, and then 20. And if I press V and zoom out here, you'll see that we got a vignette going on now. And next thing we need to add, if I zoom out here and move this stuff over, is we need to go to Shift A, and then we need to go to Color, Mix, and we need to put this on to Multiply, and we'll add this to the bottom, and then we'll grab our very first image and we'll bring it in to the top here, and then we'll connect this to the viewer node. And now you see we got a super bright vignette, but we take this factor value and we lower it down, let's say something like 0.4. And that's lowered a little bit too much. I like kind of stronger vignettes, so let's go to 0.6. And there you go, and you got a vignette going on. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure that you take this very bottom output and connect it to your compositor, just so that it composites. And there you go. So I'll just move that up and press Alt V to zoom in here just a little bit. Hold down Alt, and that's the image. I'm going to show you how I did that backdrop, but if that's all you wanted to learn and get out of this tutorial, that's all I did to this image, and it looks pretty nice. So if we go back to previous and then come back up here and then go to default view, and I press 0 on my keyboard and come in on the camera and press in, and then lock camera to the view and then press in again. And let's bring this over. Now all you got to do is just rotate your camera around, and you can render out an image like that and get that side shot, or a side shot from here, or a top, bottom shot. Just move your angles, and just be careful that when you render, you need to, so if we took a render from here, we would need to go ahead and scale this backdrop. So I'd press S and then Z, and I'd scale that up because we don't want to see none of that background there. So, and that's all you do, and you could get you tons of different shots from that. And so I'm going to go back to compositing, and then I'm going to press Shift and then spacebar to come back to full screen. And now I'm going to show you how I did that, the background. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out over here, and I'm going to press Shift A, and then we are going to go to Input and Image. And remember, we saved this image out, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Open, and then go to where I have that image, and I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yep, it's that one. And I'm going to press Open Image. And now that image is there. Now we need to go ahead and press Shift A, and then we need to go to Color and then Alpha Over. And we need to plug this image in. And then we need to plug this image in here, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to press Control Shift and then click. So we just have that to the viewer node, just like that. And we are going to go ahead and move this over, and we're going to press Shift A, and we are going to go to, if I can find it, to distort and then scale. And let me zoom in here, and I'm going to click on, we'll use relative, and then we'll scale it down to 0.6 and 0.6, just like that. Let's see here. Do I have something mixed up? Oops. So we got the scale node, and that should be good. So if we just add this into the brightness and contrast over here, and then connect this to the viewer node, and now you'll see I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this, and then we're going to connect this to the viewer node, just so it'll render out faster. There we go. I don't know what was going on there. So let's see, 0.5, maybe 0.4, and 0.4. That looks okay to me. I don't know what just happened there, but that looks fine to me. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come over here and we're going to duplicate this brightness contrast. So Shift D to duplicate that, and then we're going to add it right here. And we're going to do 0.1 and then 0.4, because we're going to brighten the background image and give it a little bit more contrast. Then we're going to press Shift A. We're going to go to Filter, and then we're going to do a bokeh blur. And we're going to connect that there. And if you'll see, let me press Alt V and zoom in here, and hold down Alt. You'll see that it gives it kind of a colored blur a little bit. A little bit here, and now we are going to go ahead and press Shift A, and then we're going to go down to Distort, and we're going to add a lens distortion node. And we're going to do 0.2 on this lens distortion node, just like that. And now you'll see that it's distorting it quite a bit. Let me press V and zoom out here. And that might be just a hair too much. So let's try 0.1. And that looks a lot better. And let's maybe turn this contrast down to 0.2. Just like that. And now we are going to just go ahead and press Shift A, and then go to Color, and then Color Balance, and add a color balance in there. Just like that. And we are going to go ahead and we'll just go ahead and make this just a tad bit yellower. And then we'll make this a tad bit bluer on that side. And we'll add just a little bit of green in there. And let's go ahead and zoom these out just a little bit. That might be just a little bit too much green. So let's go ahead and let's just move this out just a little bit like that. And then let's take this alpha over and let's plug this straight into the brightness contrast node right here. Just like that. And then let's take this alpha over node and let's plug this into the image on the multiply node over here. And then let's go ahead and plug everything into the viewer node. And let's have a look and see how that looks. I'm going to press B, and I'm going to select all those, and now I'm going to press G. And I'm going to move these out just a little bit, and I'm going to come and set these up just a tad bit over here. Move these out just like that. And let's see here. Let's go to 0.07 on this lens distortion. And that looks fine to me. And then let's go ahead and let's change the size of this here, and let's go down to 0.7 on the bokeh blur. And that looks a whole lot better to me. And let's go ahead and Alt V and zoom in here and hold down Alt so we could go ahead and move this down, and then Alt V. Let's look at that. Now we're getting some blueness and stuff around here. Let me hold down V and zoom out, hold down Alt and V again, and then move these. We're getting some blueness here, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to previous, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on viewer node and zoom out here, and then I'm going to go to image and I'm going to save the image, and we'll just name this 2, and I'm going to save this image out real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and come back in here, and let's go ahead and try turning that vignette down. So let's come down, and then let's go to the blur node over here. Actually, let's go to factor first. Let's go to 0.4. And let's do 18 and 18. And let's go ahead and turn the brightness down to 0.2. And this bounding, let's go ahead and press 0.8 on this. And the max blur 16 is fine for me. let's go 0.04. Trying to figure out why that the blueness is around that image. Let's go 0.02. And there we go. It seems like we got rid of most of that blueness there. Let's go here and let's make sure. Let's go turn that whiteness down just a little bit on that. And there we go. That looks good to me. You can take a little bit of this greenness out of the highlights here. But I wanted to offset that color, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. And that is all, you guys. I hope this was a good tutorial, and I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope that this will help out, especially the person that asked me if I would do this tutorial. And like I said, doing this background like that, you guys don't have to do that. I just wanted that to add that on there, show you guys how I did that. But if I press Alt-V and zoom all the way in here, actually press V a little bit out, you'll see that that is the image and that is the effect. And so we'll come back here, and then just remember, when you want to save your image, make sure this is on the viewer node down here, and just go to image and save as image. That way you don't have to re-render everything. And I think that is pretty much it. So please like and subscribe for tons more tutorials. And thank you, and have a great day.